Hello, hi. Hey, can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Hello. Can you all hear me? Okay. Write me a message and say, yes, I can hear you. Okay. So I know. Okay. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Can you hear? Okay. Can you see? Fantastic, Oscar. Thank you. Hello, Oscar. Hello, Info Music. Hello, Patanan. How are you all? How are you doing? Are you doing well? Personally, I am doing very well. I am very happy to be doing the first stream of Easy Stories in English. Hello, Juhohi. Hello, Andrew. How are you all? Hello, Andy. Fantastic. Andy says he's learning with the stories, which is good. Oscar is doing very well. Fantastic. Uh, High five, Oscar. Or maybe, well, because of coronavirus, maybe high five is not good. Maybe an elbow bump instead. An elbow bump. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Elbow bump. So I have here a little document. Okay, so this has, I'm going to write down some words and stuff in here. And there is a delay with the stream, okay? A delay means it is slow, okay? So when I ask you a question, I have to wait maybe 10 seconds or 20 seconds before I can read your answers. Okay, so if I ask something and you write something and I don't respond, it's because there is a delay. Okay, but it should be okay. So let me look at the messages. Hello, Hassan. Patanan is doing fine. Hello, Danielle. Ahoy, as you say in Czech or Slovak. Good, everyone is doing well. Fantastic. So today I want to start. Oh, of course, I want to know where all of you are. Of course, I am in Bath in the United Kingdom because I live in Bath. But where are you? So tell me what country you are in. Maybe Thailand, Czech Republic, France. And tell me what city you are in. Maybe Paris, I don't know. Maybe Tokyo. I really want to know. So tell me your country and your city. Juhohi is in Finland. I have never been to Finland, but I hear it is really, really lovely there. Maybe a bit cold, but yeah. Hassan, or sorry, maybe Hassan is from France. David is from Haifa, Israel. Patanan is from Thailand. Juhohi is from Hamina, specifically in Finland. Andrew from Bogota in Colombia. Wow, lovely. Okay. Hassan, you're from Paris. Fantastic. Actually, I wanted to go to Paris this year, but with the coronavirus, I don't know. I don't know. And Andy is from Františkovi Laznie in the Czech Republic. Daniel. Daniel is from Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. I love Bratislava, as you know. Actually, Danielle, the other day I was thinking, oh, I really, really want to eat some halushki. So there we go. Worth a Wound is from Germany near Nuremberg. Guido from Italy. Wow, fantastic. All over Mexico, Madrid, Modena, Italy. Okay, hello, Oscar. I see lots of names that are also Patreon supporters. So reminder, if you are a Patreon supporter, thank you so much. And if you are not, the Patreon I will just, well, I'll show you at the end. It's where you can support the podcast. But of course, just by coming here today, you are supporting as well. So thank you so much. Okay, so to start today, I just want to show some interesting things on my desk. Okay, so actually, I want to show you something I bought a few days ago. Okay, something I bought online. Now, this is kind of like a toy, but it's an unusual toy. What I have here is 3 pots of, so this is a pot, yeah, like a small container with a lid is a pot. So I have 3 pots here of slime. Okay, now you might be thinking, what is slime? Well, it's just kind of a thick, sticky material generally, but actually nowadays there are people who make slimes to play with. So this is a slime that I bought in a shop in the UK. Okay, and it's fun to play with. So you can stretch it, but also if you pull it hard, it breaks and you can roll it around in your hands. Now, obviously, during the podcast, you just hear me. You don't see me. But whenever I teach online or I am working, I like to have something to do with my hands. Actually, I am a very physical person, perhaps is the word. I just like to, I need something to do with my hands. I also have this, which just has, buttons and wheels and so on to play with, because it helps me think better. So plastilina in Spanish, yeah. So the great thing is nowadays with the internet, there are people who make their own slimes at home and they sell them on the internet, which sounds crazy, but actually it's very popular with the younger generation now. Usually kids between 10 and 15, it's very popular with those ages. And people make all kinds of slime. So slime that feel maybe hard or soft, slime that smell of things. So anyway, why am I telling you? I'm going to show you, okay? So this first slime I got, this one is my favorite, okay? It is a banana slime, okay? And it is, honestly, it is really, really fun to play with. So you can see it's very, very big. It's quite heavy, actually. And this slime, well, first of all, it smells amazing. It smells of banana, but banana sweets. Maybe you don't have them, but here in the UK, there are sweets that are shaped like bananas and they're soft and they taste just so good. And this smells of banana sweets. So I just like smelling this slime. But also it is so fun to play with. So it can stretch, I can stretch it really far. Look how far I can stretch this slime. I can roll it up into a big ball. Look, see, I can slap it. I can stretch. I can even, now this is a bit dangerous. I am going to whip it around, okay? So yeah, it is really fun. I am quite childish. I am definitely a child at heart, is what we say in English, which means really I am a child. Okay, so tell me, do any of you have slime at home? Or maybe your children make slime? Is this a new thing for you, or did you know about it before? Tell me, I really want to know. And I am just going to write down some of those words, okay? So I stretched the slime, I stretched it out, I rolled it up into a ball, and I whipped it around like a whip. A whip is that really long thing where you go, yeah, like in Indiana Jones uses a whip. So I whipped the slime around. Oh, and of course, slime is the word. And as I just said, I am a child at heart. So hopefully, if you listen to the podcast, you are also a child at heart. Because I think everyone has a fun, creative side, and we just need to let it out. So Oscar has some slime. Andy says, sorry, Andy, I think it's a woman, but I'm not sure. I think Andy, her children make slime. Andrew, Yuhohi have heard about it. Oscar, her daughter, his daughter makes slime. Lovely. Oh, Patanan, you make your own slimes. Fantastic. Patanan, maybe take a picture of your slime and email it to me at ariel@easystoriesinenglish.com. That would be fantastic. So I can see your homemade slime. Brilliant. Okay. So I'll show you the other ones. So this one is quite unusual. It's quite like a hard, crunchy, I would say. So what I mean by crunchy is you can see it's got these little pieces in it. Yeah, these hard little plastic pieces. So it kind of, if I roll it, I'll hold it to the microphone and you can hear that sound. And that's what I mean by crunchy, okay? And it's much, you can see it rips quite easily. Yeah, it is not so stretchy. So this one is a brittle material, okay? So I'll just write down those words. So brittle means it is not so soft, okay? So you can't stretch it, it breaks, it rips easily, okay? So rips like paper, rips. And as I was saying, this slime, it's got these pieces inside which make it a bit crunchy, okay? Now, partly the reason I'm showing you these slimes is because it's easier to show them here than on the podcast. And of course, as you know, I like to talk about my life on the podcast and talk about interesting things from my life. But also, I think with words like crunchy, brittle, it's really much easier if I just show you how it looks. Okay? Just making sure, hopefully I didn't get slime on my computer. Okay. And finally, the last slime is a really sticky one. So by sticky, I mean that it sticks. Yeah, it doesn't come off easily. So I have to be really careful because last night I was playing with this slime in my hands and then I could not get it off. So I had slime between my fingers and it was horrible. And I had to wash my hands really, really thoroughly. Okay, so this slime, as you can see, it is a beautiful galaxy color, like a pinky purple. It has glitter in it. It has stars in it. It's so nice. It even has little metal balls in it. I'll show you. It has, little metal balls inside as well. Okay, so it has a nice mixture. But as you can see, it's already sticking to my fingers. So it's a slime. It's a dangerous slime, really. You have to be a bit careful with this one. Okay, so I am not going to take it all out on camera because That would be a disaster if I get slime all over my computer during a live stream. Maybe for the next live stream, but not today. So as I was saying, this slime is very soft. It is very sticky, so it sticks to your skin easily. Okay, and it is a it has glitter inside. So glitter is like, if you look, you can see it kind of shines in the light. So it's that kind of stuff you maybe put on your face as well for a party. I love glitter. Okay, but it has been a long time since I used glitter. Okay, let's look at the comments. Salom said, my child wanted slime, but I heats it. Do you mean like heat, like heat up, like make hot, or do you mean eat? Because both sound very dangerous, actually. Yes, Oscar, you're right. It is very relaxing. Yeah, when you're a bit stressed, you can just play with the slime and maybe pull it apart. So it is a great stress toy as well as being fun. Okay. Another thing I wanted to show you is, so when I got these slimes in the post, in the mail, they actually came with some sweets, some candy. So it came with love hearts, which are a traditional British sweet. They are quite old. I think they have them for a long time. And love hearts are really lovely because they have these little hearts on them with messages. Okay, so romantic messages. So you can see my all, true love, blue eyes, and don't cry. Okay, so I thought it would be fun if I open these on camera and you can see some of the messages. Sometimes the messages inside love hearts are very strange, but that is why it is fun. And I suppose the idea is that you can give them to your crush. So your crush is the person you like, okay? Someone you have feelings for. So we say, I have a crush on her, for example. If you like someone and you want that person to be your boyfriend or girlfriend, you say, I have a crush. And that person is your crush. So I think the idea with and this is a very I think this is a very British expression. No, actually they say it in America as well. But I guess the idea with love hearts is you find a nice message and you give the heart to your crush. Maybe. I don't know. It's fun to eat anyway. So let's take out the first one. Okay, well this one has no text whatsoever. No writing, no words. It is just an emoji, I suppose. So you can see there, it's a heart with a smile and a pair of sunglasses. Very cool. Okay, so let's eat this one up. Lovely. Let's look at the next one. So this one, this one says bestie on it. Okay, bestie means best friend. Okay, it's like a fun way of saying best friend. Oh, let me just move that. So this is like your best friend. Maybe when you're 10 years old and at school and you have your best friend and you're so close and you're such good friends and you say, we're BFFs forever. BFFs forever means best friends forever. Okay. Well, actually, that's just BFFs because otherwise you're saying forever twice. We are best friends forever. That's something some people do. But of course, when you grow up you change, right? Just because someone is your bestie now, maybe in 5 years, you will be different people and you aren't friends anymore. Or maybe you are friends, but you're not BFFs. I don't know. I never really had a bestie. I don't think I had good friends. Actually, no. In university, I had a really close best friend. Okay. The next one. I can't eat them all, by the way, because otherwise, if I eat them all, I'll just no. And it's actually hard to talk. So I'm going to take them out. So the next one says perfect. Okay. Oh, let me make that bigger. Perfect, which I think is a perfect... Can I make this brighter? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Which I think is a perfect message for this live stream, because my listeners are perfect. You are all perfect for listening to easy stories in English. So I want to thank you again. I'm just going to put these out here on the table. Okay, let's look at the next one. Oh no. Oh, this is a sad one. Look. She or he, I suppose, is crying. Maybe this is a case of heartbreak. Yeah? If someone breaks your heart, you think they love you, but really they don't. Maybe you take this love heart and you give it to them. And you're saying, you broke my heart. Maybe. I don't know. That's a bit dramatic. Okay, maybe if someone breaks your heart, you will be very sad, and maybe you will just eat all the love hearts. That's what I would do. I love eating. Actually, whether I'm happy or sad, I always eat a lot of sweets. So, there we go. Okay, the next one. Oh, it says forever, which again, I think is a fantastic message, because I want this podcast to continue forever. I want easy stories in English to go on for years and years and years. And of course, it will get bigger. Maybe we will do more things. Maybe I will work with other people. Okay, let me just check the comments. Hello, Ibrahim from Turkey. Guido says, what kind of material is the slime? So I think slime is made with glue, which is like, you use glue to stick things together. I'll be honest, I don't really know, but I know it's not, you should not eat slime. Definitely not. But it's not super dangerous either. Oscar says, there was a special slime that simulated the sound of a fart. Okay. A fart is when you go, yeah, from your bottom. So actually, I can probably get these, if I move these slimes enough, I can make them fart, but I am not going to do that. Okay, Oscar says, in Italy we have baci perugina, which is chocolate candy with a romantic message inside. So very similar. Oscar, I'm sorry, I can't give you a love heart because you're so far away. But there we go. Okay, let's look at the next love heart. Ooh, maybe this, I don't know if I can give this to anyone, because this love heart says lover. Yeah, like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or something more. I don't know. Maybe one of you is my lover. No, you're not. I don't have a lover apart from myself. I love myself. So there we go. Okay, there is one more. Again, this one is very appropriate. It says always, because I always hope No, let me say that again. Because I want easy stories in English to always continue. Or maybe you should always be listening to the podcast. No, you have other things to do in your life, of course. So, let's have a look at them all together. I put them here on my desk. We have bestie, perfect, broken heart, forever, lover, and always. And I'm trying to decide if I am going to eat these now or after the live stream. Because if I eat these now, my cheeks will be very full. But I do love sweets. So the sweets are there, and maybe later I will eat them all in one go. We will see. Okay, so I also wanted today to do a bit of storytelling. Okay, so I have here. Oh, and then of course after the storytelling, we will do questions and answers. Okay. So Domenico, Domenico just commented. Hello, Domenico. Domenico is a student from Bath. So I teach Domenico in Bath, or I was teaching Domenico, but because of the coronavirus, the schools are closed. Oh, Domenico, I'm so happy you could come. Okay, so I have some cards here, and these cards, they all have really beautiful and interesting pictures on them. Okay, so we're going to play a little game, and we're going to use this deck of cards to create a story. So first, I am going to shuffle the cards. Okay, so this, what I am doing now, I am shuffling the cards. Okay, I'm going to write that down in the document for later, and I will post a link to this document at the end of the class. Okay, if I remember. My memory is very bad. Okay, so we are going to take the top 3 cards, and I am going to start making a story with the 3 cards, and I am going to ask for your help in making the story. Okay, so these stories are probably going to be very, very stupid. Okay, or maybe not actually. Let me just make some space for the cards. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera down. You can see the love hearts left a mess on my desk. Fantastic. Okay, so we are going to take 3 cards. Okay, so the first card, the second card, and the third card. And I'll move that back. Yes, fantastic. Okay, so we are going to make a little story with these cards. Okay, so the first card, we have a stopwatch, a pocket watch, and in one half of the pocket watch is space or the galaxy. Okay, in the second card, we have some toy soldiers. Okay, these are toy soldiers, and one toy soldier is pulling a cart, and in the cart is sitting a fat little boy. Okay, and in the third card, we have a chicken, and I guess the chicken is a police officer, maybe. He has a uniform, and there is an egg, and the egg is cracking open. Okay, so what I will do is I will start making a story based on the cards, and I will ask you to fill in a gap. Okay, so I'm just thinking, is there a way for me to no. Okay. I'm going to try and be extremely clever and put both me and the cards on the screen. And we are going to see if that works. It may work, it may not. Okay. I'm kind of just improvising. So give me 1 minute. And if you have any ideas for the story already, please tell me your ideas. I would love to hear them. Okay, so I'm going to try and put this on the screen. Actually, wait, I thought of a better way to do it. Oh, I scared myself. I thought I had closed the stream for a moment. Okay, I'm going to add... Perfect. Yes, I did it. Okay, I'm so clever. Am I not so clever? Sorry, this is my first time streaming, so I am quite excited. Okay, so, oh my god, and oh my god, I'm so clever. Wait. I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna put this here. Oh, it's magical. I'm so good at technology. Okay. Okay, so let's see if you have any ideas already. Yes, Oscar, the game is Dixit. Dixit. It's a fantastic game. Okay, so we're going to have a go at writing the story. So looking at the first card, the stopwatch. Okay, so once upon a time, there was a spaceman, okay, who lived in space. Okay, so a spaceman is a man who lives in space. Okay, he was very old and he didn't know how long he was going to live. Okay, so maybe he was going to live 5 years, 10 years, 3 months. He didn't know. Okay. So we can see the time there, the space there. Okay. Before he died, he wanted to do something. He wanted to do something very important. And now it is your turn, okay? So write some ideas. What did the spaceman want to do before he died? I am going to read your comments, okay? Oscar says, these are my favorite kind of stories. Fantastic, Oscar. If this is a good story, and of course, I'm sure it will be a good story because you are helping me, we can even put it on the podcast. Who knows? Okay. So before the spaceman died, he wanted to do something. What did he want to do? Give me your ideas, please. Okay. So Andrew says he wanted to go to the zoo. Maybe this is, Andrew, is this a special space zoo? Maybe with special space animals in it? I think that could be quite interesting. So maybe he wants to go to the zoo. Suda says maybe he wanted to have a delicious cake. Okay, maybe the most delicious cake in the galaxy. Nuhohi says he wanted to get married. Ibrahim says he wanted to have children. Ooh, these are good ideas. Okay, Andrew says it's definitely a space zoo. David says he wanted to visit the kingdom of children. Interesting. Oscar says he wanted to get married to a dog. I think maybe not. We won't go with that one. I think he wanted to go to the zoo. Okay, before he died, he wanted to go to the space zoo. Okay. So, of course, the space zoo is much more interesting than our zoos. At the space zoo, there were all kinds of unusual animals. Space dogs, space cats, space elephants and giraffes. Okay. The most interesting animal at the space zoo was... What do you think? What was the most interesting animal at the space zoo? What do you think? Maybe it is a monster or an alien. Yeah, something we don't have on Earth. Maybe a unicorn or a dinosaur. Lots of ideas. Okay. So give me your ideas. I'm going to give one idea myself. My idea for a space animal is a giraffe with a curly neck. Okay. So curly, like curling around, yeah. Suda says a dragon. Okay, well, as you know, I love dragons. Actually, I have 2 dragons here. Here is one of them. This is Takeshi, my purple dragon. Andrew says giraffe corn, which is a mixture, so a fusion, a combination of a giraffe and a unicorn. Okay, very, very interesting. Any other ideas for animals? Okay, a giraffe, a unicorn. I think we should go for a giraffe corn. Okay, so the most interesting animal at the space zoo was the giraffe corn. A unicorn with a neck as long as a giraffe. Okay, Danielle said shining birds, which is another fantastic idea. Maybe later in the story they will come. Okay, but the spaceman could not go to the space zoo because... Why? Why could he not go to the space zoo? I'm going to make this easier to see, yeah. Why could he not go to the space zoo? Maybe he didn't have enough money. Maybe it was too far away. Maybe he was too old to go in. Why could the old man not go to the space zoo? Give me your ideas, please. Ibrahim says he was very sick. Ooh, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. That makes it quite dramatic if he's sick. Okay. Any other ideas? He didn't have a company, like a job, maybe, Suda is saying. Yeah? He didn't have enough money. The same idea. He was too far away. I think let's go with because he was very sick. Okay. David, he had he had COVID-19. Well, okay. Maybe this story is in the future, so he doesn't have COVID-19. He has COVID-1900. He has the biggest future version of the coronavirus. He had COVID-900, the most dangerous coronavirus in the universe. Okay? So, before he could go to the zoo, he needed to find a cure. Okay? So a cure is medicine, okay, or treatment. Basically, when you are sick, you need a cure to make you feel better. Okay, so he needed to find a cure. Okay, so I think we will move on to picture number 2, the with the toy soldiers. Okay, so first he went to a big, or let's not say first, let's say so. So he went to a big castle. Okay, the king of the castle had many soldiers who protected him, okay, and pulled him around on a cart. Okay, so the soldiers pulled him along on the cart. Okay, please, Your Majesty, said the spaceman. So, Your Majesty, when you talk to a king or a queen, you say, Your Majesty, and you go on your knee. Okay, so, please, Your Majesty, said the spaceman, I have COVID-1900. I am looking for a cure. Do you know where I can find it? Do you know where I can find a cure? Okay. And fortunately, luckily, the king did know. He said, go to somewhere. Okay, so give me your ideas. Where is the cure? There you will find the cure. So, where does the king say the cure is? Where does the spaceman have to go? What do we think? I'm going to ask my dragon. Hello, Mr. This dragon, he's called Alejandro. Okay, he's a Spanish dragon. Hola, ¿qué tal? Speak English. It is easy stories in English, not easy stories in Spanish. Sorry. Okay, Ibrahim says anthem. I don't really understand, Ibrahim, because an anthem is like a song. Okay, maybe a different word. Andrew says dragon power catches it. So do you mean, Andrew, that a dragon has the cure? Okay, Sudha says under the ground and in a cave. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'm going to write that down as an option. Underground in a cave. Okay. What do you think? Are you protecting the cure, Alejandro? No, I am the cure. I don't know. I think you will make people more sick, honestly. Okay, Oscar says Gotham, Silent Hill, Raccoon City. Okay, these are all Ecatepec. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, Oscar. Let's go with... I don't want to choose Gotham or Silent Hill. Those are from video games because it might be a copyright problem. So let's go with Sudha's answer. I think it will be underground in a cave. Okay, so go to the planet of Smilia or Slimia, let's say. Okay, just a random name. Okay. Deep under the ground, there is a cave. Ah, okay. Oscar says in a supermarket. I like that idea. So deep underground, there is a cave with a massive means very, very big. There is a cave with a massive supermarket in it. The supermarket has a fantastic pharmacy. Okay, very good drugstore. There you will find the cure. Okay. So the spaceman got into his spaceship, and maybe there will be a dragon in the cave as well. We will see. So the spaceman got into his spaceship and flew to the planet Slimia. Okay. The whole planet was covered in sticky, thick, wet slime. Okay. So he had to dig his way into the planet. So he landed on the planet and he had to dig down. Dig, normally you use a shovel, but you can dig with your hands. So he dug his way into the planet and found the cave. Okay. Inside, okay, but before he reached the supermarket, actually no, I have a better idea. Okay. Inside the cave was the supermarket. It was a Tesco's. So Tesco's, maybe you have Tesco's in your country. It is a really, really, really big supermarket chain, okay, in many countries, but originally it is British, okay? So it was a Tesco's. And it was the biggest shop that the spaceman had ever seen, okay? But the cure was out of stock. Oh no. Because so many people had coronavirus, they had all bought the cure. Yeah? Oh no. But, and this is Andrew's idea. I really like Andrew's idea. So the spaceman asked where he could find the cure, and someone told him that dragon's powder is the cure. So powder is like, if I break off a bit of this love heart and I grind it up here, let me check, you can see this. Here in my hands, I have powder, okay? So powder is like flour, sugar, this is all powder, okay? So, dragon's powder is the cure, okay? So the spaceman went to find the dragon. He thought he would probably have to fight the dragon. Yeah, a dragon isn't just going to give him the powder. Probably he was going to have to fight him. Let's try and get in the third picture. Okay. Okay, so looking at this picture, we have the egg. I have an idea. Okay, so he went to the dragon's lair. So a lair is like a home. Okay, but for a dragon, they have a lair, a really big home. Okay, it was full of treasure. So treasure like gold and lovely things. It's full of treasure, money. and dragon eggs. Okay? The spaceman hid inside one of the dragon eggs. Okay? So just like I'm getting inspiration from here. Yeah, this is the spaceman hiding in the dragon egg. Okay, so now your turn. He used to fight the dragon. What did he use to fight the dragon? Did he use his hands, his fists to fight the dragon? Did he use a sword to fight the dragon? Did he use a bow and arrow to fight the dragon? Did he use a spear to fight the dragon? Did he use a gun to fight the dragon? Or maybe he gave the dragon a love heart. Let's see. I want to see your ideas. Okay. Sudha says a magic hammer. So a hammer, you hit things with a hammer. That's a nice idea. A magic hammer. Oscar says he spits like... I don't know. I don't think spit is going to do very much against a dragon. Oh, okay. Oscar deleted the message. Okay. Any other ideas? What did he use to fight the dragon? Or did he give the dragon a love heart? What are your ideas? Tell me your ideas. A magic ring. Ah, okay. That's a nice idea, Andrew. Maybe he uses magic to fight the dragon. Any other ideas? Maybe he uses a magic hammer and a magic ring. It does work. Ah, Sudha! I love that idea. Okay. So he used himself to fight the dragon. Okay? Dragons are very susceptible to COVID-19. Susceptible means they are weak. Okay? They are easily affected. Okay? Guido, I like the idea of a Justin Bieber song, but maybe for the next story. Okay, so he used himself to fight the dragon. So dragons are very susceptible. They are very weak to COVID-19. So he coughed. Cough is he coughed and spat. He coughed and spat on all of the dragon's treasure. Then he waited inside the egg. Okay? The dragon came home. Danielle, you said, does this spaceman still wear scaphandra? I don't understand what scaphandra means. Okay. The dragon came home and lay in his treasure. Okay, so he lay down in his treasure. Soon he started coughing. Okay. He coughed and coughed and coughed and breathed fire everywhere. Okay. Finally, he coughed one last time and died.
Oh. Hey, I don't like this story.
Sorry, Alejandro. Sometimes dragons die.
Well, I won't die. I'm strong.
You're very strong, but this dragon was not as strong as you.
Ha ha ha. Well, I'm better.
Yes, you are much better. Okay, we're going to finish the story, Alejandro. Sorry. Okay, so the dragon coughed one last time and died. The spaceman went and made powder from the dragon. Okay, which part of the dragon did he use to make the powder? Did he use the dragon's tail to make the powder? Did he use his foot to make the powder? Maybe he used his claws to make the powder. Maybe his teeth or his horns or his ears. What part of the dragon did he use?
I don't like this. Stop touching me.
Sorry, Alejandro. Okay, his teeth, his wings, maybe his wings, yeah.
Hey, those are my wings. Stop touching.
All right, calm down. I think his wings, yeah. So he made powder from the dragon's wings. Then he drank the powder with a cup of tea because he's British, I think. And he felt much better. Okay. So I'm trying to remember where he actually wanted to go. Oh, he wanted to go to the space zoo, didn't he? Okay. So in the end, the spaceman flew to the space zoo to see the giraffe corn. Okay. It was beautiful and fascinating. Fascinating means really interesting. Fascinating. It was beautiful and fascinating. He felt like he could die happily now. Okay? You know, maybe in a few years he will die, but he has been to the space zoo. He has seen the giraffe corn, so now he can die happily. Oh, okay. The end. Oh, well, I had so much fun writing that story with you all. I want you all to give yourselves 3 claps. Thank you again for your help. That was a brilliant story. Okay. So now we are going to do questions and answers. Okay? So now is your chance to ask me anything you want. If you have any questions about... Oh, and Suda. Okay, I'll add for Suda. He went home and ate a delicious cake. Okay. The end. Brilliant. Okay, thank you for the claps, David. Brilliant. So now you maybe have some questions for me. Maybe you have questions about the podcast. Maybe you have questions about just my life personally. I don't know. Maybe you have questions about how to study English. Maybe you want advice in studying English. Okay, so you can ask me any questions you want and I will answer them. As long as they are polite questions. You're very welcome, Suda. Thank you for your wonderful ideas. So, do you have any questions? Please, someone please ask me a question. If nobody asks me questions, it will be a bit awkward, I think. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that and make myself a bit bigger. Okay, brilliant. So, any questions? Thank you, Andrew. I agree. I think it was an absolutely great story as well. Okay, so Danielle asks, how often do I plan to make this live stream? This is actually a question that I have for you. Originally, I thought I would just do it once, but because a lot of people are self-isolating because of coronavirus, I'm thinking maybe of doing a live stream every Saturday, right? Every Saturday at the same time. So my question for you as well is, are you interested in a live stream every week? Let's say maybe not always Saturday, but probably Saturday. Are you interested in a live stream every week? Thank you, Sudha. You're very lovely. You're saying I love you. I love you too. Oscar says thank you. You're welcome, Oscar. Sorry, we have two Oscars. We have Oscar Caluzzi and Oscar Lopez. Oscar Caluzzi asks, what do I think, how do I think about Babbel? So I'm not actually familiar with Babbel. Is Babbel a language learning website? Okay, it is. Honestly, Oscar, this is the first time maybe that I heard about Babbel. So I have never used Babbel. But generally, looking at the website, I think it is a website like Duolingo for learning languages. And generally, my opinion for a lot of language learning tools like Babbel or Duolingo is that they don't give you enough real material. They give you maybe one sentence in the language, right? Like you have to write one sentence, but there is never context, right? So when we write a story, there is context. You know who the spaceman is. It is a story you are following. If you listen to a story, you are learning about characters and a world. But often on these websites, it's just a sentence to study and there is no context. And I think that is much less effective for learning. I think when we have context, like a story or a conversation in a language, we learn so much more and it is much more interesting. So that's kind of my opinion on these websites. Okay. Everyone, lots of people saying they would like a podcast. So Danielle says an evening time is better for the live stream. To be honest, I chose this time because I know we have a lot of listeners in Vietnam, India, and Thailand. And I know, so I wanted to choose a time that is good for all those countries, which is difficult. I know in Europe right now it's afternoon and maybe you want evening. Maybe I can change it. Okay, I will think about the times because actually today a lot of people are from Europe. So Sudha asks, why do I like to learn languages? I don't know. I think, often we have things we are good at, like a special talent or something. And I think for me, languages are just something that my brain is good at them. So it's fun to learn them. And I really like learning about different cultures as well. I think it's a fantastic way to meet people and, learn about the whole world. And yeah, I personally find learning about different pronunciation, different grammar in different languages, I find that really interesting. Actually, at university, I studied linguistics. So linguistics is kind of like the scientific study of language. So I really enjoy looking at the technical side as well, which is also useful because now I can understand the best way to teach too. Okay. Sudha asks, do I have any secret to learning different languages? So my secret is, unfortunately, part of it is just our brains. Some people have like a natural talent for language learning, but also the secret is comprehensible input. So comprehensible input is a theory, a scientific theory about how we learn languages. So comprehensible means you can understand it, and input means reading and listening. So the most important thing when you learn a language is to read and listen to things you understand and that actually have meaning, okay? So that might be reading a book, it might be having a conversation with someone, it might be watching a TV show, or listening to easy stories in English, for example. Actually, that's exactly why I made Easy Stories in English, because it's hard to find interesting resources with maybe stories at a low level. So that's why I make it. And actually, for studying Spanish, I pretty much just read books and listened to podcasts, and I am at a very good level now. So yeah, if you are interested more in learning about that, there is a really good talk on YouTube by Stephen Krashen. So Stephen Krashen is he is a professor in linguistics, specifically in how we learn languages, and he is very, very clever, and he does a really good talk on YouTube about how to how this stuff works, the science of it. Okay, so I will put this actually in the chat as well. I will put the link in the chat. Okay, so yeah, that's there. Okay, Guido asks, or Guido, sorry, I don't know if it's Guido or Guido. Is it better to watch a movie in English with subtitles or not? So, should I watch movies with subtitles or not? I think often when we learn languages, we make things harder just because we think it is better if it is harder. But really, the most important thing is it's comprehensible, so you understand. So I actually think you should do everything you can to make it comprehensible. So definitely, unless you understand maybe 95%, if you understand like 95% of the film without subtitles, then don't use subtitles. But if you understand less than that, use subtitles. And actually, if it's a film that's quite difficult, or even let's say you're trying to read a book that's difficult, what I do sometimes is I go on Wikipedia or I go online and I read a summary, okay, of the film or book. So a summary says what happens in the film. Now maybe you are thinking, oh, but then I already know. But if you already know, then you will understand the film much better. So it really helps in that way. Or you can, for example, if you read Harry Potter in your language, you can read it again in English and then you will understand much better. Okay, Andrew asks, where do I find so much imagination? So, first of all, thank you, Andrew. That is a really nice comment you have made. Honestly, I write very regularly. And I think imagination and ideas, they come to you when you work for them. So I try to write every day. Even if just for 20 or 30 minutes, I try to write something every day. That might be working on my novel or writing a story for Easy Stories in English. But basically, if you sit down every day to write, the ideas come to you. Also, I have studied story structure quite a lot. So story structure is how stories are built. What is the construction of a story? And that helps me because I know how, from the start of a story to the end, how to get there and how to make it interesting. And then once I know that, it's just adding in fun details. So it makes it easier to, when I do a story like we wrote the story together, I don't worry about the structure because I know it quite well. Okay, Oscar Caluzzi says, I really love English culture, traditions, language, and tea. I visited London for the second time in November with my girlfriend, my parents, and her parents. If it's possible, because of the coronavirus, I'll visit Ireland in June. That is fantastic, Oscar. London is a great place to visit. There is so much to do in London. I hope you do get to visit Ireland. My father is actually Irish, but I have only been to Ireland for funerals. Um, so I have only gone to Ireland when family has died. So I really want to go to Ireland and explore more of the culture, because it is, my father is Irish, so it is part of my heritage. So your heritage is your history as a person. Danielle Rabina asks, how is the coronavirus situation in Bath? That's a great question, David. So in the UK now, all the schools, the pubs, the restaurants, they are all closed, and a lot of people are working from home. So if you work in a company, you work from home. Of course, some people can't work from home, like if you work in a supermarket, or if you deliver things, you can't work from home. But because I work at two schools, they are both closed. So one of them, they cancelled, they stopped the classes, and the other one, we are on holiday, and in 2 weeks we will do the classes again, but we will do the classes online. To be honest, I only go out once a day to go for a walk in the park near my house. But I haven't been into town, into the center of town, for a few weeks. So I don't know if there are a lot of people around. I'm not sure. I don't think there are very many people outside now. Sudha asks, or share is saying, I want to share one thing to improve my English. I actually have 20 books in my home, but the one thing I'm doing is not reading it. I'm taking 95% of the effort to learn, but I'm fine. But in the end, I am bored. Okay, so if you, this is a good question, okay? I get bored when I read. What can I do? If you are bored when you are reading a book in English, it's probably because the book is too difficult. It's too hard. Okay. If you choose a book for native speakers, it's going to be very, very slow, and you might get really bored. So I think the best thing to do is choose a graded reader. So a graded reader is a book for learners. So just like my podcast, Easy Stories in English, graded readers have, a level of language that is much easier. So if you look up, you can search online where you can buy graded readers. There is also a fantastic website that I want to show to you all. Let me just get it open. So I will open it on the stream. So this website, let me make it smaller. English e-reader is a fantastic website for finding ebooks, electronic books in English. And I will just put this link in the comments of the stream as well. So English e-reader has lots of electronic books, ebooks in English, and they are all free. Okay, so you can, if you click on them, you can see how long they are, you can see what level they are, and you can download it in many formats, or you can read it online. And a lot of them also have audiobooks. The best way to use this website is if you click library at the top, you can see all the different levels. So maybe you want to choose B1 plus for your level, so intermediate, and then you can find books with that level. If you click library and then search, you get an amazing page where you can search by title, by author, whether it's British English or American English, whether it has audio, Yeah, you can find if it's audiobooks or not. And if I make this bigger, you can also search by genre and length and so on. So that's a fantastic website. I really recommend. I've just put that in the chat, so you can try that link. But yeah, generally, if you are really struggling, you're finding reading really difficult, really boring, it's probably because the book is too hard, okay? And I'm not saying, never read those books. Just for now, you can read easier ones and gradually build up your level, okay? So I hope that answered your question, Sudha. Okay, are there any other questions? Any of you have any more questions? Okay, Oscar Caluzzi asks, how did I get the idea to start the podcast? So, I've been writing for quite a few years, and then I became a teacher about 2 years ago. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to be a teacher before I started teaching. When I was at school, I actually had a really bad time and I was bullied and I wasn't very happy. So I always thought that I would never be a teacher because I had such a bad time at school. So when I started teaching, I just tried it. I tried a teaching course to maybe just see if I enjoyed it. So teaching English as a foreign language specifically. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. So I started teaching, and for a long time, I've thought about doing a podcast, but I wasn't sure what to do the podcast on. I wanted it to be something related to languages and writing, but I didn't know what topic to do. And I thought it would be nice to make materials for students because then I can use it when I'm teaching as well. And then one day I just suddenly had the idea, the two ideas kind of came together of, oh, because I was learning all of these things about language learning and comprehensible input, and suddenly I was like, oh, I should write short stories in English for learners. And I thought, okay, this must exist, right? I thought this must exist. Surely someone is doing this. So I searched through podcasts for learning English and I found nothing. Really, as far as I can see, there are no other podcasts really like Easy Stories in English. So I thought, okay, I have to do this, right? This is a really good idea. And so that's how it started. And of course, you have all been listening, and now I know it was the right idea. Okay. Oscar also asks, how much time do I need to write a story? So Oscar, it really depends. Okay, how much time do I need to write a story? A lot of the stories I actually adapt. So I take a story that already exists and I change it. So those are usually fairy tales, like Grimm Brothers fairy tales. So a lot of the ones like Grimm Brothers fairy tales. So the Grimm Brothers, they were German and they went and collected fairy tales and folk tales from around Germany. And they're very famous fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and so on. So often I adapt a fairy tale, and honestly, it does not take me long to adapt a story now, maybe a few hours. So I can adapt a story in a day very easily. When I write my own stories, it takes longer. Sometimes I have an idea and I start writing and it comes out fine and I don't have to change it very much. Sometimes I spend a few days working on the same story and like adding to it, but usually it kind of comes in one go. But I think that's because I've been writing for a while. I can and often when I start writing a story, I have one idea, but I don't know what's going to happen in the whole story. And then as I write, it just kind of naturally unfolds. So it doesn't take me too long, but it's difficult. It's much harder to write original stories than to adapt them. Of course, it takes much more brain energy. And actually, the thing with writing is, even if it doesn't take very long, it can be very tiring. So like if there are some days where I write for like 2 or 3 hours, and if I write for like 3 hours, afterwards my brain is slime because it's really hard work. So yeah. Oscar also says you are a talented storyteller and I love the way you teach English. Thank you very much, Oscar. That's very sweet. You are welcome as well, Sudha, for the answer. And I agree, Oscar. Bullies are so stupid. Yes. But luckily I am a teacher now, so I can hopefully help students in those situations. Andrew says, I loved the adaptation. So when you adapt something, it's an adaptation. Adaptation of Little Red Riding Hood. It was outstanding. Oh, thank you, Andrew. That's very sweet. Yeah, the Little Red Riding Hood story I wrote very quickly. Okay. Normally when I adapt and I add details, I edit it 2, 3, 4 times just to make sure it's really good. There are some details in the Little Red Riding Hood story that when I finished it, I thought, oh, this could be better, but I wanted to get it out on Tuesday because obviously it is relevant to everything that is happening now. Okay, I think we will finish there then. So I'm sorry if you had a question that I didn't have time to answer it. If you have a question and you want me to answer it, at any time, you can always email me at ariel@easystoriesinenglish.com. You can ask me questions, you can send me stories, you can just say hello, okay? And I will paste that into the chat, okay? You can email me there. It has been lovely talking to you all. Really, really lovely. I had so much fun today. I'm just going to say, I know you probably all know, but just a reminder, if you want to support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/easystories in English. Okay. Let me just get that up. Easy Stories in English. So when you support the podcast at a $2 level, you get exercises with every story, which is a really great way of, if you enjoy the stories but you want to study a bit more seriously and maybe really improve more quickly, the exercises are a really good way of doing that. At the $5 level on Patreon, you get an extra story every month, and those vary in levels. So sometimes it's beginner, sometimes intermediate, sometimes pre-intermediate. Okay, it's loading now. If you support at the $15 level, there is an online class every month. So this online class is very similar actually to these live streams, but it is 2 hours long, okay? And I prepare some more activities. I prepare a little story to tell in the online class. And of course, it is smaller. You can talk to me on video. We can really discuss ideas more personally, okay? So, and then after the online class, it is recorded and uploaded, so you can watch it again later. There is another level, the $40 level, okay? I know this is very high, but this is maybe if you are really serious about learning. And in this level, I will give you coaching, so personal one-to-one coaching every month, okay, about how to improve the most, okay? However, I also want to ask you, that's patreon.com/easy stories in English. I'll just copy the link into the chat here. If you have any ideas of things you want from the podcast, like maybe you think, I'm not really interested in these online classes, but I would really love this other thing. If you have an idea for something I can offer on the Patreon, please send me an email and tell me, okay? Because obviously I want to do things for you. I am considering doing YouTube videos soon, as well as the live streams. And also I want to publish some books, okay, with some stories at some point as well. So I have lots of ideas. But if you have ideas for things you want to see, that would be really, really helpful. So email me those, okay? Guido is Guido. Okay, thank you, Guido, for telling me the pronunciation of your name. Thank you. Oscar Lopez says you really loved Crow Island and you're looking for the second part. Yes, I know everyone wants me to continue that story, so I should. I don't write action stories very much, but I will try to write a second part. Okay, thank you all for coming. Thank you for your kind comments. I really had fun today, and I think I will definitely continue the live streams, okay? Oh, and another comment, if you have not signed up for the mailing list, the email newsletter, I really recommend that as well. I'm going to send an email next week with lots of advice on which websites to use to study English. So if you want to sign up for the email newsletter, go to easystoriesinenglish.com and there is a box and you can write your emails there, okay? Thank you again for coming today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and it's quite cloudy here, but anyway, I hope you have a good weekend, and I will okay, I will send the document from today's live stream. No, I will paste it into the chat, into the comments of the video. So in a moment when I finish the stream, it will be uploaded to YouTube, and I will put a link to the document with all of today's stuff in the description of that video. Okay, so have a great weekend, and hopefully I will see you all next week. Bye.